welcome to Newly's Healthy Cooking Challenge. I'm Chef Jenny Brewer, and this month's challenge is a really fun one. It's all about sugar, one of my favorite topics. More importantly, unrefined sources of sugar. Now, you've probably heard you should eat less sugar for good health, and that's a really good idea. But the good news is that there are unrefined sugar sources that you can add to your diet so you can have the occasional treat without ruining your health. Now, I'm gonna show you some of my favorites. There are a lot to choose from, so I'm gonna hopefully make it easier for you to choose some healthy sweeteners. So let's start with some liquid sweeteners. First of all, raw honey is always a good choice. Really unrefined and filled with enzymes, so that's a good choice, especially if you're making something like a salad dressing where you're not gonna actually cook the honey. I also love maple syrup. I mean, love maple syrup. I have a deep love. So when you're choosing maple syrup, you can see that there are different choices. You have grade A and grade B. In general, grade B is going to contain a little more minerals than the grade A, so that's a good choice as well. And of course, maple syrup has an amazing flavor. Then there's molasses. Now, molasses is the byproduct of sugar making, actually. Did you know that it takes 17 feet of sugar cane to make 1 pound of sugar? And what's refined out of that in sugar processing are vitamins and minerals, and they're all found in molasses. Molasses is a great source of B vitamins and minerals, and a great thing to add to your diet. Now, in baked goods, you want to make sure that you're cooking it in something that can really take the flavor, like gingerbread. I even like to put molasses in like dark chocolate cakes. There are a few more liquid sweeteners to talk about. One of my favorites actually is brown rice syrup. It's very mild and it's made from rice, so it contains some minerals. It's a less refined product, and I really like using this in recipes that call for liquid sweeteners. Another neat liquid sweetener that's new is coconut nectar. Now, this is actually the nectar from the coconut tree, very similar to maple syrup. It has a low glycemic index and a really mild flavor as well. This makes really fantastic baked goods. Let's talk about some granulated sweeteners. In general, when you're baking with unrefined sugars, you really want to use the sugar that's called for. So if your recipe calls for a granulated sweetener, it's probably best to stick with a granulated sweetener and not try to switch over to liquid. You can do that, but it takes a lot of experimenting, and you'd want to take my natural chef's training where I teach you how to do that. But for those of you just cooking at home and experimenting, let's say your recipe calls for granulated sugar. One of my favorite is sucanat, which stands for sugar cane natural. This is evaporated cane juice that's been dried and granulated. This is a nice sweetener. Another good granulated sweetener is coconut sugar. Now, this is just dried coconut nectar, like I had pointed out before. A really nice granulated sweetener. You can use it 1-for-1 with sugars in your recipe. Now, my all-time favorite granulated sweetener for health is date sugar. This is just dates that have been dehydrated and ground. So it's still considered a whole food. It has vitamins, it has minerals, it has fiber. It's fantastic. Now, date sugar will not dissolve in hot liquids, so this isn't the sweetener to use in like your coffee or your tea. But man, does it make an amazing baked good, like an oatmeal cookie or a muffin. And again, you're really using a whole food product. I feel really great about date sugar. So your challenge this month is to eat more sugar. I mean, how fun is that? No, seriously, your challenge this month is to make some of your favorite holiday recipes with unrefined sugars. Now, I'm gonna have a chart on the website that'll give you substitution ideas for that. I'm gonna also have some healthy recipes for things like pumpkin pie and cookies that call for these unrefined sugars, so you can start adding them to your diet and realize it's not about giving up your favorite treats, it's about making them healthier. So I'll see you next month.